Hello everybody, hi, we're Balverine. I'm going to do something a little different before I get into my review, because I have finished the first of several of my custom bookshelves. I know it looks like just a big box right now, until I do this. Five shelves, virtually no wasted space. Happy with it myself. And it's set up in such a way that I can adjust these. Take off one of these shelves, adjust my spacing, and there'll be just enough room for hardbacks. This shelf is just deep enough for a hardback. Gonna make several of these over time, and that'll become my new library and new setup for these. But the real reason we're here, Gunmetal Gods by Zamil Akhtar. And hopefully I'm saying his name right. If not, I apologize. Gunmetal Gods, this is not your typical Tolkien-esque fantasy. There's no elves, no dwarves, no kingdom under the mountain, no dragons, no knights, and not your typical wizards and mages and sorcerers. Zamil Akhtar is, if I remember correctly, I believe he said he was Pakistani, but he was born in Saudi Arabia, moved to America when he was a teenager. So rather than the typical fantasy settings we tend to get, this setting is based off Middle Eastern cultures. The unique thing about this, at least from my reading, it's possible this setup is in more books than I know of. But we have two first-person perspectives. We have, and again, I'm going to butcher these names, Kiva, who is a janissary for one of the two cultures. And then we have Micah, or Micah the Metal, who is our first-person perspective warrior from the other culture. Essentially, we have a brewing holy war, two cultures fighting to take over the same city. And we do have magic, but it's from the magi, the mages. We have jinn, ifrit. We have plenty of battles. We have angels, demons, eldritch horrors. And of course, each side has their own god. I love this book right now. This book is in my top 5. Easily in my top 5. As we go through this, obviously things are going to go from bad to worse before anything gets better. That's going to be a typical trope for fantasy. But I dig this. I'm not going to go into huge spoilers, because the more I talk about the details, the more I spoil for you. And I don't want to do that. But as they go through fighting over this capital city, this holy city for each side, each of our protagonists, oh man, they meet up with different characters, obviously, but we're going to learn more about the world around them. We're going to learn about their backstories, and we're going to get into details about the religions and the gods themselves. We're going to run into these eldritch horrors. We're going to meet up with the jinn, the ifrit, other creatures from Middle Eastern folk tales or mythology or religions. Man, I wish I could just go on a straight detail here, but I don't want to spoil this book. Great book. Highly recommend. I would give this a 5 out of 5. Absolutely recommend this book if you're into fantasy. And I admit, probably my high recommendation is just because it's so different from all the fantasy I have read. I've read so many of the Tolkien-esque, obviously Wheel of Time, Sword of Truth, Cosmere books, all of that type of stuff. For me, this is a unique story, a unique perspective, and a completely different culture that I'm used to reading about. And I think that makes for a great story. Obviously, this here is the deluxe edition or the special edition that I got through Kickstarter. And I do have Conqueror's Blood coming as well. That Kickstarter is in the process of, I think they're proofing right now, printing relatively soon. And I will read that after I get it, as well as the prequel short story. And then my next book up is going to be Bartender Between Worlds. So I do thank you for watching. I promise I will eventually get better at scripting these instead of winging it, despite the fact that I have my review already typed up. You guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.